Thank you for watching this YouTube video. Today I'm going to be going over Incinerate and how to make it more effective for you. Incinerate, it's kind of an interesting spell. It's both a fire, a projectile, and spell damage. So all three of those effects are going to increase Incinerate's damage the most. And Incinerate's the awkward part about it is because of how it looks like it, by itself it just looks like that. And as you get more and more damage, as you use it longer and longer, it has different stages, and in each stage it has increased damage. And you can always see the stage when you're looking at Incinerate. Every time a stage increases, you'll see a little like red thing around yourself that like kind of explodes away from you, and you'll also see 3 buffs by your clarity up there, and that's how you know what stage of Incinerate you're in, and each stage increases your damage that you're doing by a lot. And so there's a couple ways of making that super effective. The other thing about Incinerate is it shotguns very well, using things like greater multiple projectile and less from. Oh yeah, the other thing too is I believe the longer you channel it, the more mana it costs, I believe. Oh no, it costs the same amount of mana either way. But either way, you can shotgun with it, which what that means is with lesser multiple projectile, that's how it looks. Right? And so if something's right in front of you, they can get hit by all 3 of the projectiles. So, as you can see, as they stand there longer and longer, they're just going to take more and more damage from the Incinerate. So it's actually a super effective thing. And it gets even more effective if you use greater multiple projectile, because all 5 projectiles can hit one target. And they can all overlap super easily. So it melts things super quick. And you have to keep in mind, this Incinerate's only level 1, so the damage could only get higher from this point. Another thing that's really effective with Incinerate is the faster projectiles. Faster projectiles makes it so it comes out a lot further. And with the shotgun effect, it makes it, so it just goes a lot further, so you don't have to be in harm's way as much. Since you're going to be in melee range a lot with this, focusing on block is actually not that bad of an idea. One item that's really good with Incinerate is Sybil's Paw. And then what you try to do is you try to focus on block chance, and the block chance gives you spell damage. So every 5% block chance you get 6% spell damage. So that means the cap for block is 75. So you would get basically this from it. So if you had 75% block chance, and if you divide that by 5, and then times that by 6, you'd be getting 90% spell damage from Sybil's Paw if you had max block. That's a lot of spell damage, and that's going to increase the damage of your spell by a lot. And not only that, you get 5 to 8 life gain per hit for each enemy hit by your spell. It's one of the only items in the game that gives you life on hit with a spell. And that's another reason why it's really good with Incinerate, because Incinerate hits very often. So not only is it really good because working off block chance for a character like this would be good because you're getting hit a lot, or you have the chance of getting hit a lot because you're always going to be up close and personal using the Incinerate. And then the cast speed and the mana. What's not to like about Sybil's Paw for this? You can always use other things. You don't have to use Sybil's Paw. It's just a recommendation because it's a really good item for Incinerate. The other thing that you can do with it is You could try, you could always try in power, and power is gonna always give it some damage. Faster casting is always gonna make it so it poops out more fire. I mean, without faster casting, you're at a 0.22. You go down to a 0.17, so it's a 0.05 difference. You can tell just by looking at it, it's coming out a bit faster, and then shot got in with it too. So it's always going to be doing a lot more damage, and you can already tell, just even with that increased level from in power, it's already doing crazy damage. So Incinerate really, it is a really strong spell. It's just not super popular, but it definitely can take you pretty far in the game. It's a really, really strong spell. That's pretty much what I would use with Incinerate, is all those gems I recommended. I believe, I'm not entirely sure what the quality is, but we can always check that out for you. Yeah, and projectile speed. Projectile speed's really good with it, so getting that quality Incinerate is probably super important. So I would do that too. Otherwise, as far as skills go, depending on how you do it, if you use Sybil's Paw, you're going to want to get as much block chance as you can get until you get about 75%, because block chance is basically giving you free spell damage at that point, and that ends up being super big. And the best block chance nodes in the game are up by the Templar. These are really good. Right here alone, just for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, for 9 points, you're getting 16% chance to block right here. And then if you come down here, there's even more block chance here. Get another 6, 7% here. Like, depending on where you want to start, there's a bunch of options for a bunch of block chance. So, you can really kind of go where you want as far as this goes. But I would recommend starting either Templar or Witch, just because, most of the fire damage is up here. Most of the good block chance for these characters, it's really close, and you can get life really easily. And then elemental damage is always close, and cast speed's always close, which all of those are super useful for Incinerate. So yeah, cast speed eventually would be really good. Getting cast speed's always going to improve the damage of a spell. Getting fire damage is always going to be pretty decent. I believe Incinerate has a damage effectiveness on it because of how fast it casts. It only gets 30% effectiveness from stuff. So straight damage isn't going to do crazy amounts for it. But I mean, you have to keep in mind that it also, every time it charges, it gives you more and more damage as it's charging. So I mean, yeah, the effectiveness isn't really that big of an issue. So other than that, I think that's all I really have to say about Incinerate. It's a really good spell, and you can make it go far with your character. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, I'm making more of them. I'm doing all of them actually in one night. But it takes time for me to edit them. It takes time for me to get them out. So be patient. I'm sorry if it takes a little longer than you'd like. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope you follow me on Twitch and YouTube. You guys have a good day.